At the beginning of the movie, we see a car moving in the forest, in which 3 people were sitting, who were going for hiking in the forests of Georgia. Their names are Chris, Daniels and Alicia. All 3 of them are friends of each other. On the way, Daniel stops the car and goes to the toilet. Then Chris tells Alicia about what happened last night, but Alicia tells him to keep quiet and tells him that it was a mistake. After this, the 3 of them go ahead where they find a forest in the woods. After stopping the car at the place, they go out for hiking. Then while walking, Daniel tells them that during the World War, the Russian army had dropped many bombs here, which people still find today. It turns out that Alicia and Daniel love each other and they are going to get married very soon, but this is making Chris a little uneasy. At night, when they are sitting near the fire in their tents, Daniel asks Chris, why are you so sad? But Chris brushes him off and says that both of you are going to get married, so don't worry about me at all, enjoy your life. Then Daniel says, don't think that. I will not party with you after marrying Alicia. We both were together since childhood and will remain together in the future. All 3 of them are very happy to hear this. After this, Alicia and Daniel go to sleep in their tent and Chris also extinguishes the fire and goes to his tent. Next morning when he wakes up, he sees an unknown man tampering with their belongings. Chris slowly goes behind him and starts beating him. The man tells Chris that I am Daniel's friend Davy, but Chris did not know him. Then Daniel and Alicia arrive there and they ask Chris to wait. Then Chris says sorry to Davies and they both are introduced to each other. Daniel Chris, he says that I have called him here to get his photos clicked. After this, Davy asks everyone to stand in front of some bushes so that he can take a photo of all 3 of them together. All 3 of them follow his guide and go there. But then Davy sees from the camera that there is something under Chris's feet, so he forbids everyone to move and tells Chris not to move at all because there is a bomb under his feet. Daniel, if you check there, then it is revealed that it is a landmine and if Chris moves his foot even a little, it will explode. They all get very scared after seeing this. Then Davy tells everyone to stay calm and tells that we have to deal with it. We will have to call help and it may take us 4 to 5 hours, so for safety no one should be anywhere near Chris. But Daniel sends Davy to call help and Alicia stands near Chris during all this. She gets very scared and asks Daniel to go away from there, but he says that he will stand near Chris until some help comes. I cannot leave him alone in this condition. Chris also tells him to go away from there. He asks for help but he doesn't even listen to him and scolds Alicia and sends her away from there. After this he goes to Alicia. Only then his phone gets a signal and when he calls for help, Alicia is very happy to see that the call gets connected. Daniel asks them to send a bomb expert for help, but then he tells Alicia that they are refusing to help us because of you. She is unable to understand what he is saying to Ellie and then he says that the police are saying that we do not help prostitutes. Saying this, Daniel goes back to Chris. Ellie tries to convince him that he is not going to get married. Before this I was going to tell you everything, so please forgive me and call the police for help, but Daniel tells that there is no mobile signal here, so I was fooling you, but here we have not heard anything yet. We don't understand what they are fighting about, but then we come to know that the incident that Chris was trying to talk to Alicia about in the car, Daniel finds out that in fact Chris is also Alicia. Alicia ignores it considering it a mistake, but Chris still thinks of her as his love, and when Daniel comes to know about it, he confronts both of them. Tree plans to take revenge and he has also planted the mine here so that he can trap both of them here, and Davy is also in collusion with him. Now Daniel brings a spade hidden there and he gives it to Alicia and tells her that now you are Chris's last hope of survival, so dig a hole here. After this, Daniel takes out the pin of the landmine and throws it in the forest and starts leaving from there with his stuff. Alicia tries hard to stop him but he does not listen to her and goes away from there. Ahead, Davy is waiting for her and when Daniel arrives, they both leave from there. While Alicia goes into the forest and finds Mayan's pin and tries to put it back, but the pin does not fit. She finds so she starts digging a hole there to save her. At the same time, a hunter comes there with his dog, who sees Alicia and Chris. His dog starts attacking but he stops her. He points a gun at both of them. Alicia tries to explain to him that my friend has stepped on a mine. Actually, we came here to go hiking but now we are trapped here, but the hunter thinks that these people they are murderers and they have killed someone and buried themselves here. But when Alicia asks for her help, she also starts to believe that these people are really in trouble. Now Alicia asks her, can you help me dig a pit here? Then he agrees to help. The hunter's name is Ilya, but he asks Alicia, how did you guys get stuck here? Alicia tries to hide the truth from him but he tells me everything is true, tell the truth otherwise I will not help, and he starts leaving from there. But then he tells Ellie that I and Chris once slept together, so my husband planned all this to take revenge from us. After this Ilya says that what will I get for helping you guys? Then Alicia says that in return you can take all my stuff. Hearing this, He becomes very happy, and while running, he checks her bag in which he finds a panty. Seeing it, he says to Alicia. He tells Chris that I want the panties you were wearing, and saying this he starts to force himself on Alice, but then Chris asks him to stop and promises to give him $000 lying with him, but he says that he does not have any money. If you don't give me your panty, I will leave from here. So Alicia is forced to give me the panty, and when she starts going into the tent to remove it, he stops her and says that you will have to drop it right here. Alicia has only one way to get help, so she takes off her panties. She gives it to him, after which Ilya starts digging a pit to help him, but suddenly a sound of a radio comes from his bag, which is his radio phone. Seeing this, Alicia requests him to use that phone so that he can call someone here for help, but now Ilya again says that what will I get if I give you the phone? Alicia requests him too much, but then he throws her panty away and says that you will get it from me. Hearing that she will have to be held in her mouth like a dog, Alicia refuses him and starts digging the hole again, but she is forced to obey him and does the same, after which Ilya gives her the radio to use. Alicia calls the emergency number, but the officer in front does not know English language, so she is not able to explain anything to him. Then she requests Ilya to call help for her in Georgian language, but Ilya, as usual, once again he offers his deal, in which he says that I will call help for you, but first you will have to get eggs. Hearing this, Alicia asks him to leave from there, but now on the radio the officer repeatedly demands answers. So Ilya asks Alicia to answer him that we are absolutely fine. If she doesn't say so, then a police case can be filed against Ilya. So Ilya forces her to say so, but Alicia did not know the Georgian language. So Ilya says that I can translate for you, but for this you will have to keep taking off your clothes one by one until she is satisfied with your answer. Ilya feels threatened, so Alicia gets the first answer. You have to take off your top. After this the officer does not ask any questions, so according to the deal, Ilya starts leaving from there, but then the officer speaks again on the radio, so Ilya comes running back. Alicia gets very scared of all this, so she requests him to leave from there, but Ilya holds her at gunpoint. Chris seduces Ilya with his words and drives Alicia away from there, but Ilya goes after her with his dog, leaving Chris in peace. With the help of Chris, he takes Ilya's gun to himself. By then Ilya also comes there with Elisa. Chris points the gun at her and asks her to leave him, but he does not leave her but instead rapes her badly. Cruz starts doing this, but he is not able to even shoot him because his aim is not accurate. After this, as soon as he is about to shoot at Ilya, his dog attacks Cruz and makes him fall into the pit, due to which the gun is fired. A shot is fired and that bullet hits Alicia. When Chris regains consciousness, he realizes that Alicia has been killed and that May was fake. After this we see a scene of a few months later where we see Chris, who tells a family that I am a tourist and have lost my way here. There are no map shops nearby, so the lady and her daughter tell him that we can print the map and give it to you. Chris goes upstairs and we learn that the family belongs to Ilya, who was working outside at that time. After the map is printed, Chris starts to leave, but then the lady offers him lunch, so Chris goes with them. He sits down to have lunch. At the same time Ilya arrives there, who is surprised to see Chris in his house. He asks Chris to get out of there immediately. Seeing this, his wife and daughter do not understand anything. But Ilya makes an excuse to drop Chris off in the car and takes him out and tells him to please leave from here because I don't want my family to be involved in all this, so I will go out after an hour. Alone, Milunga Kraus agrees to his words and leaves from there, but after a while, he injures his dog and makes an excuse to enter the house. Seeing this, Ilya goes to take his gun to kill him, but then Chris shoots him with his gun. He shoots both the legs. After this he asks his wife and daughter to take Ilya inside and later he ties his wife's hands. Now he shows Ilya's panty to Ilya and tells him to protect his family. Tell me everything, why I have come here. Ilya tells her that when I am drunk, I do some wrong things. Please forgive me. The way Ilya had treated Alicia, Chris also treats her in the same way. He does the same thing with his daughter. Now after this he puts only one random bullet in his pistol and asks Ilya's daughter to be unrestrained. If she becomes naked before the bullet is fired, then she will be saved alive. The daughter is forced to take off her clothes. They fall, but the bullet is fired in the first round itself and she is killed. Seeing this, Chris regains consciousness. It turns out that he has turned everything upside down in anger. He starts crying when he realizes his mistake. In this way, even though Chris is a good person, circumstances make him bad. By the way, friends, what do you think? Did Chris get his revenge? Did he do the right thing by taking it this way, or should he not have included Ilya's family in it? Please do let us know by commenting.